Welcome to the Underground Spotlight, where we uncover some of the things that are happening just beyond the veil of the technocracy. Are you familiar with the concept of a dark pattern? A dark pattern is, as Wikipedia says here, a user interface that has been carefully crafted to trick users into doing things, such as buying overpriced insurance with their purchase or signing up for recurring bills. Now, you encounter these things all the time. Some of them are simple, some of them are much more pernicious. The guy who came up with the term has a website here. I'm just checking his Hall of Shame, right? And now some of these are just, we'll call them advertising, right? There's kind of a line there between advertising and what we might call dark patterns. But doing something like making it incredibly difficult to cancel a subscription, or I was seeing here also switching the location of the opt-out button so that you're opting out or opting in, that is clearly manipulative and deceptive. And there's plenty of these things that are out there. I'm sure you're familiar with them. Before I show you this dark pattern, though, I'm going to need to introduce you to another institution, and that would be the Calyx Institute. Some of you are probably familiar with Calyx, but others of you are not. It's a 501c3 nonprofit that is based in New York, and it's a privacy company, okay? They make privacy and digital security more accessible. That is their mission. If we scroll down here, we can see that they make an alternative to Android called Calyx OS. They make Seed Vault, or behind it, and they do a number of other privacy-related things. Okay, so that's Calyx Institute. Now, I was informed that if you join the Calyx Institute, that you get the opportunity to have an basically all-you-can-eat data plan that is very useful for cellular routers. Okay, that might sound a little bit into the weeds, but we're working on a course called Internet Anywhere, how to access the internet anywhere in the world. Awesome. This is going to be a spectacular course, unlike anything that you have encountered out there. And as part of this, we're testing a number of things. So I was told that I need to enroll with the Calyx Institute in order to get this SIM card. So let's do that. Now, I'm here at the Calyx Institute. Basically, I'm signing up for their internet membership, and I'm just going to put in a bunch of random information here, and I'm going to get you to the billing because that's the most interesting part. All right, so I put in a bunch of bogus information. I'm not intending to actually proceed with this order, but I just want to show you what happens when we go through all of the steps and we get to the checkout process. Now, again, Calyx Institute is a privacy organization. So we get here and we see what are the payment options to pay for this membership, which gets me this SIM card so I can test it. Pay with credit card, okay? Not Monero, not Bitcoin even, no cryptocurrency, just credit card, okay? Maybe I can make a credit card work. There's some ways to do privacy with a credit card. So let me try that. So I click on Pay with Credit Card. Where does it take me? PayPal. It takes me to PayPal. Not a credit card, not Stripe or one of these others, but one of the most nefarious anti-privacy companies in the world, PayPal, where usually you have to create an account with them just to be able to pay through PayPal. But I'm familiar with PayPal a little bit. I know that, hey, sometimes we can at least process a credit card through PayPal without creating an account. So let me see if I can do that. Well, I'm inclined to type in the email and press next. That's a nice blue button. But here, right here, the first little dark pattern, this blacked out, grayed out button, pay with debit or credit card. That's actually the path that I want to take. If I do this, I'm going to have to create a PayPal account. So that's pretty deceptive. That's pretty tricky. Not to mention that Calyx Institute just sent me to PayPal as the only payment option for their service. Okay, so I'm going to press pay with debit or credit card. Let's see what happens there. Okay, now I have to give an email address. So let's just use the fake one that we were working with. Let me continue. Okay, now this is the darkest pattern here. Obviously, I'm very suspicious. I use a VPN and things, so let me click all the taxis. Great, perfect. 3 seconds well spent in my life. Now, I have to fill out this information on the PayPal platform. Okay, that's fine. If it was Stripe, I would be doing it on Stripe. But when I scroll down here, what are my options? What is the button? It says create account and pay now. I don't want to create a PayPal account. That is a step much too far. I don't want to enter PayPal's ecosystem just to be able to make this payment. But wait, do you see this button here? It looks like, hey, there's a nice shield, there's a nice check mark. That's obviously on. I want to leave that on. Oh, I can untick that. Now I can pay now. Now I can pay without creating an account on PayPal. Now, I'm under no illusion. PayPal is still getting a lot of this data, but at least I'm not in the PayPal ecosystem in this case. At least I haven't been snuck into an actual PayPal account. So that is really deceptive behavior right there. That is an incredible example of a dark pattern. Now, This is Calyx Institute, the privacy organization, sending me to PayPal with all its dark patterns in order to pay for the service. Let's compare, for example, Calyx Institute makes something called Calyx OS, and they have a competitor, and that competitor is generally considered the superior option at this point in time, and that's Graphene OS. When I go to grapheneos.org and donate to them, look what we have here. I can pay in Bitcoin, Monero, Zcash, and some others here, mostly privacy-focused cryptocurrencies. And sure, they have PayPal and such, but I can go down here and I can give them a Monero donation right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the comparison between something like Calyx and something like Graphene OS, and a perfect example of a dark pattern. If you're interested to learn more, definitely check out escapethetechnocracy.com.